Welcome to Sweeping the Country. I'm your host, Derek Walker. My co-host is none other than the very infamous Mr. Jimmy Carter. Hey, Jimmy.
Oh, we've got another year under our belt. We survived 2025.
Yeah, we're both still alive. That's the good news.
That's something to say. Heck, you get it down. You've done it.
That's right.
The jury's out on this year. It was kind of a dud, I thought. I did a few things that were interesting, but mostly it was a dud.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that to a certain extent. I mean,
I've had better, exciting years. This one there's nothing bad happened, which is good. I did have to go to an ER once for something, but that wasn't terrible.
okay. Yeah.
But I got sick maybe with some kind of, who knows what kind of bugs are going around. There's a lot of bugs in the eastern part of the country going around right now. A lot of flu. But no, I was in general health, and my kids, everybody, all my family survived the year. And God, you read so many stories. You're lucky to say that every year.
Yeah,
If you
it's
get
true.
your whole family and everybody's pretty much okay.
Yeah, it's sad to say that, but it's also true. It is also true.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just feel like if you've survived, if you've hung on, if you've stayed up on the board,
Yeah.
For 365 days, you get the points. And
Yeah, exactly.
wow.
No, you're right.
Run through. You've got them there.
Yeah.
Let's don't stay on any one, but let's just think what made this year occur. It was the year of Trump.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, whether you love him or hate him, he demanded your attention for the whole year.
Okay, well, that's at the top of the politics
It
list.
has to
Is
be.
his second
It has to be.
second inauguration. You got the Department of Government Efficiency. Remember Doge?
Yeah, I don't even want to. Yeah, skip all that stuff. We lived through it once.
Government shutdown, tariffs.
Does everything in the top 25 have to do with Trump?
No. This is just the first part of the U.S. Policy. Minnesota, assassination of Charlie Kirk. New York, first.
Charlie Kirk. Let's go with that. I
yeah.
think that's the second thing.
Okay, fair.
That was the biggest thing that happened this year. And I knew of him a little bit, but I had no idea how really a big deal he was
I have to agree.
in the world. I just had no idea that the younger people were really attuned to him. Some of them were. And then, of course, the response that it got was the
huge.
president, the vice president,
Huge.
and everybody else. Wow. He really, it really is, whether he was going to be somebody you liked or not. He was a potential presidential candidate, I think.
I don't disagree with that. I am with you. I did not, he wasn't I'm not his
Yeah.
demographic.
He wasn't on my radar.
Yeah, but I did see him a few times, and I was entertained by his,
I did too.
the back and forth.
When I saw after he died,
Yeah.
when I watched, some of the things, maybe I'd seen some, but he just wasn't on my radar. I saw him as
I agree.
As a guest shot on things, and thought he was glib and thought he was really, seemed to be bright.
Yeah,
But
I think so too. I think that was sad, but it was also kind of weird to see that there was a whole generation below us, right, that knew exactly who he
it was really into him.
Yeah, exactly.
And that his effect may go on. We'll see.
Who knows?
If his wife can do it. I don't know how that works. I know that's what needed to happen, but we'll see. So Trump was one.
Another big one. I think it's a big one. You tell me if you agree or disagree. But the Gaza ceasefire and the release of the hostages.
Yeah, because that's not. Well, I think bombing Iran, all that goes together. I'd say the Middle East.
Yeah. Okay, Middle East. Yeah.
But maybe that would be 3 if you included the bombing, because that was pretty bold.
Yeah.
Of us going in there, and we hadn't done anything like that in. I don't remember the last time.
A long time. Yeah, a long time.
It had to be Kuwait, or Iraq, one of those kind of deals. Yeah, so that was. It
was a
didn't
big
shake
one.
my boat, but it was it was people getting revenge for bad things that these Hamas had done, going after the nuclear thing, which sounds like that needed to be done, may have to be done again in 26 because it looks like they're rebuilding this, but. I can live with that number 3 until we replace it. What
okay,
else?
now this is off a little bit, but it's still a big deal to a lot of people. And the first American Pope. That was something that we never had.
Okay.
See, it doesn't matter to you, but some people, maybe some people.
To some people, I mean, his jury's out on whether he's going to be a great pope or a bad pope or whatever. So
Okay, now
but it was interesting that it's an American pope. Yes.
okay, this one was interesting to me, and I had forgotten about it a little bit. But remember the astronauts, Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, who were orbiting forever.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be up there for a short amount of time, and they were almost a whole year. They got stuck up there, stranded on the
Yeah.
International Space Station. That was a big story, I think.
It
Let's
didn't do
see.
much for me, but go ahead.
Let's see. This is another one I think is pretty good, and I didn't know about it. Operation Southern Spear. It's in the news now, but it's been
We
going
mean
on for a while.
Venezuela.
This is targeting the drug boats in the Caribbean and the Eastern
See,
Pacific.
that all goes back to Trump.
It does. I
The
mean,
Mideast is Trump. Trump is Trump. I mean, this is all give me some non-Trump, because that's all Trump.
Beyonce got a Grammy.
Don't care. What else?
Well, you wanted non-Trump. Okay,
Keep
this
going,
one.
Mason. I
This,
don't care.
this,
That
Taylor
Beyonce
Swift
was-
got engaged to Travis
That is
Kelce.
a big social story,
Okay.
whether you hate her or love her. That's been a fairly big story.
Yeah, it was for sure. This one flew under the radar for me, but I did hear about it. The Louvre, the jewel heist, 100 million.
Yeah, that
from
was
the Louvre.
interesting. I don't know how important that was, but it was interesting that all that stuff could have been done. Wow. I mean, that was kind of that made the French look pretty bad.
Yeah, it
that
totally
could happen right under their nose, basically. Okay, what else?
All right, this one made the list. This is under U.S. politics and domestic policy. New York's first Muslim mayor.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
I mean,
That may turn out to be very big.
it
But
may.
we'll see.
We'll keep an eye
I think
on
that happens pretty soon too, doesn't it? Doesn't it happen today?
I'm not sure
Tonight?
exactly when he does take the reins.
But
yeah.
anyway, I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, the fact that, our biggest city can elect, a social extremist like that is, I don't know what that means, but it sure, I mean, what it also boils down to Trump, because the Republicans, I mean, let's just jump ahead to this has been boiling on me all day. So
Okay, let it rip. Let's go.
Let it go. I really think that, and what Karl Rove said it, and I saw it down in writing, but I had thought about it first. He said, Trump is pretty much, people are having Trump fatigue. And I think that's true. And I think one of the things that put that over the top is this Trump Kennedy Center renaming thing. That was a bridge too far for them to do that. I think that really irritated a number of people who may or may not have been irritated already.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, fair.
I think the fact that I know that what he's doing, and I'll defend it, what he's done in Venezuela, what he's done in Nigeria recently, what he did in the Middle East, what he's tried to do with Ukraine, all this attention on world stories, it was totally ignored for 4 years with Biden.
Yeah,
This
that
was
is
like
that's
somebody
true.
going to the ER and sitting in the ER. Okay, they took your temperature, they got your vitals, but they're waiting to see a doctor. And they were waiting to see a doctor for 4 years while Biden was in there.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
All
fair.
these things needed to be dealt with 8 years ago, 4 years ago.
Right.
And so he's had all these things at one time to deal with. And you've got the increasing militarization and buzzing like a hornet, like for China. You've got Putin doing God knows what. I mean, it seems like he's getting his butt beat, in Ukraine for the most part. But then he sends all these drones and blows up children. And I mean, just bad. It sounds like he is not doing great. And he seems like more like a cougar that's being backed up in a corner. And that's never a great place to be.
Right.
When you're on the other end of that.
Agreed.
The Chinese people, who in the world knows what they're doing? They've got a submarine that's under the North Pole right now with our submarines and Russia's submarines. And they're trying to show everybody that they've got, that they're big boys on the block too. They've harassed Taiwan this week, and Japan has told them, if you bother Taiwan, you're bothering us. And Japan's, gotten a lot more militarized than it did, and they just bought a lot more stuff from the United States. We've got a world that's pretty buzzing with stuff that's going on, and it has to be looked at. Now, what on the negative side of that is the fact I don't feel like, and it doesn't feel like, that Trump, I think he believes, this is what it sounds like he believes, He's put all his eggs in the tariff basket.
Mm-hmm.
That he thinks that once that gets clicked in, and he claims this money is coming in now, that it's going to take care of itself in the election year. It's going to pay off next year. But you've got this year, they didn't get anything done. And I think that's the real far right, just says, hey, eat sound, pan sound. They don't care
Mm-hmm.
that the rates of the insurance have gone out of sight for poor people, for lower socioeconomic people. They pretty much, have said that with Doge and all this other stuff. We don't care if we got rid of all these people at Social Security and all these other agencies that were doing customer service.
Mm-hmm.
That's waste of time, waste of time. Uh, I think we're going to learn to see that, yeah, maybe some of that was, but if you have a problem, number one, with your Social Security or need to get somebody on the phone, good luck. And the same way we have the customer service in the United States today for everything, and that includes American Express, who I've been a card holder since I don't even know when, 70s,
Mm-hmm.
that even their customer service isn't as good as it used to be. But
Wow.
it's worse if you're trying to get somebody like Facebook or YouTube, try to do some
Oh
customer
gosh,
service
yeah.
with them.
No, you're not wrong.
Impossible.
Any of those digital
Impossible.
based companies like that you're talking about, they
Impossible.
don't have
And
anybody. There's
they
nobody.
so
Yeah.
badly need some they're paying off the legislature so much that
Yeah.
we badly need legislation that requires these monopoly companies to probably get broken up a little bit. But beside that, they have demanded that they get customer service with real people, not bots that answer the phone.
I would love that. I would love that, but I don't know where that goes because years ago, if you remember, and this is a different type of industry, but it's still, the AI, arms race or whatever you want to call it is
Yeah.
active in all industries. But remember when the airlines used to have some service too? The airlines, boy, if you got
But
stuck,
there is
they're going to cover
competition
you.
with the airlines.
Yes, to a certain
There is
extent.
no
Yeah,
competition to YouTube. There is no competition to
that's true.
Facebook.
That is true.
And there's no competition. Well, there is competition to Google because I use it as Chat GPT. I hardly ever go to Google anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Chat GPT now with 5, they got GPT 5 and whatever else they got. It's so good. It's so in depth. I
It
don't
makes images
disagree.
for you. It does.
It does everything. It
Now,
does
Google
everything.
was free,
Yeah.
and I pay for Chat GPT. I don't know what I pay. What, $20?
Yeah, that's about right. If you got
And
the
I
latest,
mean, it's
greatest.
well worth it what it's done, what it does, and it's great.
But I don't
But I
know.
really think we've come into a big problem with back to Trump in the fact that he may have a plan, which is very possible,
Mm-hmm.
but we've got some real problems with people. I know of personally several women who are single moms,
Mm-hmm.
who are lower socioeconomic, that work in like nursing home situations, home health care for elderly, that type of thing,
Sure.
that pays, I don't know, a little bit above minimum wage, but it pays. And and they've got children and they need, it's not enough. And so they have the kids working, and this is what I've heard a lot lately. If you wonder why, like in the suburbs,
Mm-hmm.
no one can live in these cities that are around these blue cities. The red that's around most blue cities, whether it's in Birmingham or Atlanta or wherever it
Yeah,
is,
it doesn't matter.
no
Yeah.
one can hardly afford to live in many of those suburbs because they're higher end.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have fast food that requires minimum wage help at McDonald's or Wendy or whatever to
Mm-hmm.
work there. Well, they can't seem to ever find enough people to work there. So they've raised even the rates to $15 or maybe more
20
in some of
maybe.
these
Yeah.
cities.
Yeah.
And what's happened to happen is that these people who are available to do that kind of work, young people,
Mm-hmm.
high school, whatever, kids working in college, they may go to work for 8 hours, but they're having to spend 2 hours paying for the Uber to get them there
Mm.
because generally there's no mass transportation in the South.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
worth
if
it.
you're in a suburb, you're right. I mean, there's no
And
question
so
about it.
that's why they can't get people. And when they do get them now, they're coming in an Uber to
Mm-hmm.
work. And
Which
that
is
costs them one of their
expensive.
hours of work. And then to get home takes them another hour of their work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a growing problem, and if they're going to raise, your power bills, or gasoline is cheaper, and
Mm-hmm.
that's helping a lot of people. But the power bills are up nationally at least 7%. So that's evened out some of that. And I don't know that Trump has taken that into consideration, although long term, I think he has,
Mm-hmm.
because he wants to do um, more smaller nuclear reactors and trying to get some of these things online. Some of this stuff is just taking time,
Yeah, I think
and we
sometimes.
live in a microwave society.
Oh, that's
you
right. We
know,
want it right now. We don't want to
I want
wait
it
for
now.
it. You're right about it. And sometimes, I mean, the snowball effect, it took a long time to build it up. To put it back,
Yes.
sometimes there's a little pain in the front of it before you get to the
Well, I
reward.
hope that there's things going on. They've got to fix this healthcare thing. It was a mess. And see, people see the word Obamacare on it that
Right.
are far right Democrats, and they're saying, just have him go to hell. We don't care.
Yeah.
But you can't unring a bell. You've put it out there. There needed to be some kind of safety net for people.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be giving people that are not citizens of the United States health care. That's why they need to leave in some
Well, and
cases.
there was a lot of that. There was a
And
lot
there
of
was a
that.
hell of a lot of that.
Yeah.
You go to any ER that I've been into, and
Yeah.
it's the United Nations in there, and
Right.
I don't know how many people are citizens, and if they got a crying baby, they need to be taken care of, but
Yeah.
they shouldn't be here in the first place.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I mean, he's locked down the border. I mean, I don't want to. I'm just saying. I think there's a building problem there, a big building problem that people might react next November and just throw the Republicans out the door. So they better be sending some checks, to people to compensate them for some of this stuff. They better pull a rabbit out of the hat
well,
in the
there's
next month or two.
you just said something that made me think, and I I go around and I do the, hey, what's your New Year's resolution? Sometimes when I do some on air stuff, and what's this, what's that, and one of the guys that I said, what's your resolution? He said, and I'm just going to say what he said. I don't want to pay taxes anymore. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And he said, I don't want them just burning my money. And I thought, okay, so here we go again with this. You're saying we have a lot of problems, and that's exactly right. And yet the people that do go and earn the $20 an hour and have enough to pay the taxes and aren't getting, I don't know, subsidized or somehow or whatever, are paying this huge amount of their checks. I mean, you look at your paycheck, and let's say you make $1,000, you're taking home what, 650, 700 maybe.
Yeah.
Where is the money going? And now we look at things like Minnesota and some stuff going on in California, and
Oh
and, and,
yeah.
and I, it's nationwide, Jimmy. I mean, it's not just those places, but those are the ones that are erupting, and people are starting to step back and go, wait a second, who's if you're going to hold me to the carpet to pay it, we're going to hold you to the carpet to see where it's going. I mean, we got to know the accounting, forensic accounting, whatever you want to
Well, the
call it,
Doge thing, and that's where the Doge thing was good.
to an
But
extent. Yeah,
but I tried to explain to people with Doge,
yeah,
it was it was like sending, it was like when you needed a hand surgeon,
yeah.
they sent a uh,
Lumberjack.
Civil War era orthopedic surgeon,
Okay, I know where you're going with that.
and they were
Yeah.
killing the patients as they were
Right, we got to
trying
bleed
to
you.
be. Yes, there's all kinds of stuff you don't want in government, that, and it's been added on and added on and added on and added on. And I'm
Yeah,
sure
for
the
sure.
military is that way, and I'm sure that every other form of government is. But you've got these legislators that are up there that are making a fortune on stock
Right,
sales,
getting
and they won't
rich.
make that illegal. That
It's
just burns
wrong.
me up that
Me
they get
too.
all
That's
these
wrong.
tips like Nancy Pelosi and God knows who else,
Yeah,
and they come in there, poor, and they leave there
millionaires.
multimillionaires.
Yeah.
I mean, that ought to be thumbing in your face as much as
Well,
anything.
and year after year, it doesn't matter if it's the Democrats or the Republicans, when they get into office, they all say this: Social Security is failing. We're going to run out, right? But we never run out. But you and I sit here and we think, gosh, we paid into that for a lot of years, and you guys are just going to say, hey, it's gone. Sorry. What's that about? And then the trust erodes, right? We start
Well, the
going,
trust is eroded. I
it's
mean,
eroded.
we've been
Yeah.
eroding for quite a while.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
when you look and see what, I mean, things happen, and sometimes you don't. Well, here's a great. By the way, if you haven't seen this, you ought to. On Netflix,
Yeah.
there is a show, a documentary sort of show. Documentary it is called Breakdown 1975.
Okay.
Our dear buddy Mr. Ted told me about this. It made me. I was going to not do it. He forced me to watch it. And
Okay.
okay, so I finally did. Wow, it was one of those years. I lived through it,
Yeah.
1975,
Yeah.
but you didn't know at the time what a transitional year it was. Sometimes you
Fascinating.
can't see history until you're 20, 30, 40 years away from it to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
what was going on. We definitely were doing a lot of changing in 1975.
Wow. I had
I
no
feel
idea.
like the end of the last year of Biden
Mm-hmm.
was one of those years that we were just kind of coasting. Nothing was going on. He
Yeah.
was not in good health. It was an election year. Nobody was making any decisions. No laws were getting passed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just, a real slip and slide year. And now you've got Trump that's been going through there, like a I don't know. I can't even try to think of like Sherman through Georgia would be the one thing we used to use. Like General Sherman burned down
Yeah. Bull in a china
Atlanta and
shop.
everything all the way to the sea.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what Trump has done with his executive orders and tariffs and everything else. And we're going to find out in the new year if the Supreme Court says the tariff stuff is okay or whatever.
Well, what do you
They
think? I mean, what do you think in 26? I mean, I think about this in a positive light. I want to believe that all of these things that have changed, or some of the things, are going to affect us in a positive way. I mean, I hope that interest rates go down for people buying houses, and I hope
Yeah,
that,
they will.
I mean, all of that. I hope all of that. I hope that the recession signals come off.
They got to do something about this power thing though, because
Yeah, that's
that's
another
that,
thing.
that's one of those things that people haven't really talked about much.
Well,
Talk about energy cost.
yeah.
Yeah, people's power bills are going up 7, 10%, and they're building all these data centers everywhere. And the power companies have got to spend $1 billion in generating more in different kinds. TVA has been doing this, by the way. That's it's kind of a government-owned power company,
Yeah.
Tennessee Valley Authority,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been going into all their hydroelectric dams for last couple of years
Yeah.
and been changing out the turbines, making them more efficient
Mm-hmm.
so they can generate more power and all that stuff. So I think we're on the road to trying to get some of that. We know we got to generate more power.
You're right, and the whole AI revolution, or whatever you.
And see, that's people don't understand
Mm-hmm.
this AI revolution business. I don't quite understand it myself. I know that it's a fancy Google.
Yeah.
I know that I told it to do something the other day. I said, create me an image about this and this and this and this and this. And man, it made a poster that was beautiful.
Yeah, they do a great job.
I mean, it would put a lot of artists out of work
Mm-hmm.
that, I couldn't have afforded to pay an artist to do what this did, but it did it for me in about a minute, and it was beautiful.
That's
And
so. Here's a stat for you, just for fun. I'm just throwing it out there,
right,
and I got this from AI. Right, I got this answer from AI. AI operations consumed between 312.5 and 764 billion liters of water in 2025. That's water. In power, global demand for power for AI reached 23 gigawatts by the end of 2025. Total data center electricity consumption is estimated at 448 terawatt hours for the
see, no
year.
one knows what that means, though.
Those sound like
And
billions and trillions of dollars, right?
what's the water coming out of there to cool
To
cool
cool
these places?
to cool the system. Now, some of those places are using a kind of put it through and then filter it and use it
Recycled
again.
water.
Yeah, so I don't know what the percentage of recycled versus.
I know there was one of those big places. This was a couple of years ago on the Columbia River,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere down there when I was driving between Spokane and Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Right along the river, there's a beautiful drive if you ever get a chance to do it.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful drive, but there's a big data center there for somebody, and I think they were using the river water to
Yeah.
keep it.
We have just got a brand new Meta plant in one of the cities near us, and my wife and I were both talking about it. We're like, do they realize how much water this place is going to use, or how much power it's going to
Yeah, well,
use?
you ain't got any water out there to use.
We got to dip down under the table, I mean, Idaho is fairly water rich, but it's. I
Okay.
mean, we got the Snake River pretty
Yeah.
close by, but I don't want to drain the Snake River. That's crazy. Okay, so a single AI prompt, a typical AI search interaction uses 0.24 to zero point 0.3 watt hours of energy, equivalent to running a standard light bulb for 2 minutes or 9 seconds of television for every question. So that kind of puts it in a little...
That makes a little more sense, but still doesn't say how that affects me. But
Yeah.
with all these things going on and more,
Okay.
I mean, the power consumption and, and people are going to lose jobs to this and that. Yeah, the artists are certainly going to lose jobs.
Oh God,
that's a whole
nother thing. Okay, hey, listen, before we move on, maybe this is better. The largest AI campuses under construction are designed to use 1 gigawatt of power, enough to supply energy to 800,000 homes. One center, 800,000 homes.
And a lot of these lately have been centered in Northern Virginia.
Why is that?
That's where a lot of these things are, because they're powering government, Defense Department.
Oh, I see.
Nation's government and all that stuff. So they've had a lot of that brain power.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff has been up there, but they're spreading it around now, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think. Anyway.
Fascinating. But
it's all the technology and all that stuff is certainly, one of the bigger stories about things that are going on.
Yeah.
I think that business is seeing, and whether the worker wants to like it or not, they're seeing that you can't build a corporation successfully, really. The culture on Zoom, that people need to be together. If you're going to try to get people to do things, you need to have them there. Some of the Zoom is okay, but not building a whole company culture around it is not very good.
No, a lot of companies now want people back in the office.
They want them back in there. Commercial real estate's,
all of it
got trouble all over the place.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff going on with sociological change. And, whether, I don't know what the current status is of people having babies versus not having babies, and we're living longer. And when people are living longer, we're taking resources, and there's a lot of culture stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
A lot of culture stuff.
I don't know either, but I've heard that the people are not having as many kids as they used to. That
are Anglo type people, but I think the third world people are.
Interesting.
I think they definitely are. It's your European export type people to the United States that aren't.
Top 3 countries having babies: India, China, and Nigeria.
Yes, that's the rest of my case.
Yeah.
What about those other stories? Were there anything that's non-Trump and other than? I mean, but see, when you've got Beyonce becoming a billionaire and Taylor Swift getting engaged, boy, that's not very exciting when it comes to, were there any great movies this year? No. I think it was the worst movie year in history.
I would agree. And I almost want to go back to AI for that, because I think some of the movies are getting written by non-writers.
Well,
I don't know.
It was consolidation. They're not. All they're doing is blockbuster movies. And if there are any things. Now, I saw a movie that I haven't finished, and I'm going to finish tonight, I guess.
Okay, go. Give it to me.
It's on Netflix called Jay Kelly.
Okay,
and
that's
Adam Sandler
Clooney,
and
George Clooney. Yeah.
And I think Adam Sandler might get a Best Supporting Actor nomination for that.
Ooh, well, I've been wanting to watch that. I watched just the trailer for it. It looks absolutely fantastic.
You got to get into it. I mean, it's Clooney playing an actor.
Yeah. But it's good.
And Adam Sandler's playing a manager of an actor.
They both seem. I mean, Clooney more so fits the role, but when the two of them together,
that's why Sandler's might get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah,
he's good at serious stuff. Did you ever see that movie he did where he was a jewelry store guy?
Yeah, I did see that movie.
That was very good. He was good in that. So
yeah, that was fantastic.
But anyway, I think movies suck. They're really bad.
Okay, I agree.
Stuff I've enjoyed instead of movies.
Okay, I'll give you one.
Landman, I think this year is not very good. Now that we're 7 episodes in, I do not think it's been very good. Nowhere near as good as the first year.
I have been told by so many people to watch the series Landman. I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah.
And they just, oh my God, but I can't. It's a Paramount, right? It's a Paramount.
Yeah,
thing,
Paramount Plus.
And I don't have Paramount. One of the pop culture things that happened, and I cannot believe, of all things, you did not think of this. The cute yet conventionally ugly plush toy named
Labubu.
Labubu.
Yeah, I bought a Labubu this year, but
That
it's
was the
it's.
must-have
But you
accessories.
know what? She didn't seem to give a crap about it when all
Really?
is said and done. Then no, I mean I think she liked it, but I don't think it's like any other like pet rock or any of that stuff. It's a fad for the moment, but even that's weak. Uh, I just think that the arts have been bad. I mean, music to me is not very good right now. It hasn't been in a while.
Yeah, I
Uh,
would agree with that.
the classic artists are dying off or just slowing down and coming to a near halt. Uh, it's just the Morgan Wallens and the Luke Combs and country, they're okay,
Yeah.
but once you get past the top 4 or 5, the field's not very deep with anybody that you really would care about. And in pop, it seems to be even worse. I mean, the Grammys this year, God, who's going to watch that? I mean, I don't know.
I don't
And in the
either.
Oscars, I can't imagine anybody watching that show. No wonder it's going to YouTube.
Yeah, no
I mean,
kidding.
might as well go to Facebook or something because it's not good. The movies are not been very good. F1 was good.
Oh, I just saw that, by
Um,
the way. And for those who are waiting to watch that, watch it. It's out on Apple.
yeah,
It's
it's tough.
free. I mean,
Imagine it when you saw it, if you saw it on IMAX, though.
oh, I can't. I can't. That
I mean,
was,
it was a great film on IMAX.
yeah,
It
the
really was.
effects and the racing in that are just, and I'm a big F1 fan, and I still loved every minute of it. I mean, there are some things that weren't totally accurate, but for a movie, I thought it was really good.
Well, it was the Top Gun of F1. So,
yeah, I agree. I would agree with that
but anyway,
100%.
movies were mostly terrible. And I think I went once to see F1. Might
Hmm.
have gone again to see something else, but don't even remember what it was.
Gosh, isn't that
So
terrible? Isn't that
it's
terrible?
terrible. It's just terrible. And so there's just been a lot of but I mean, network television, I've watched that, but they're making fewer episodes. Their audiences are just going down, 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 where they can't afford to make these shows
Right.
because they're costing more money than ever
It's kind
for
of a
some
catch
reason.
22, right?
It
I mean,
is.
yeah.
And they're paying these salaries and they can't afford it. And the audiences and the syndication doesn't exist anymore. They're
Yeah.
putting it on these streaming services instead of selling it to TV stations. So I think I think they cut off their heads with this streaming service thing.
Yeah.
But that's where it's going.
It's
And that's where
fascinating.
it is. And it's going to live or die there.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Radio's in trouble.
Yeah.
I think radio's in trouble. I don't know of anybody listening to the radio anymore.
Well, I know the
Uh,
cost too of TV advertising has come way down, minus the Super Bowl, minus the
yeah,
big live
minus a
events.
big sporting event.
Yeah.
Minus a big sporting event.
Otherwise, your daily locals are the prices are really reasonable, but then what are your results, right? What do you get out
Right.
of it? I don't
And
know.
what is your demographic of people who are actually watching TV?
Right. I even
And
thought
then
that the other
also,
day.
we got rid of free TV. I mean, yes, it's still out there transmitting,
Yeah.
but most people, I don't know of anybody who has an antenna. I know one or two
You
people
know me.
that
I
might
got
have
an
an
antenna. I got
but
one.
it's a great way to watch TV if you can do it because
It's
the
free.
quality of the signal coming from the TV
It's
station
great.
is
Yeah.
is fantastic.
It is so
But
clear. And
it is
it's
so clear.
and the live
Whoa,
events are live. I mean, if
yeah,
I switch over to YouTube TV or Hulu, it's about 10, 15 seconds
it's
behind.
compressed, and that's
Yeah,
why it doesn't
and it's
look
not
right.
as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of
So
like when radio went from went to MP3 after having wave
yeah,
files and things like that, and the quality it just isn't as good. And if you know it, you know it. If you don't,
but a lot of
whatever.
people don't know anything about quality. They just,
Well, that's
you know,
true.
they
That's
they
true.
they don't know that something looks fuzzy. Really,
Yeah.
as long as they got a picture, they don't really. A lot of people just can't really distinguish things like that. And I
That's
can. A lot
wild.
of people can,
Yeah.
but some people they just okay, all right,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Interesting. That's
But
interesting.
anyway,
Okay.
football, and those things have never been bigger. Sports have never been more popular.
Mm-hmm.
We have screwed up college football by paying these players and letting them do what they needed to have something, but it needed to be done in some kind of system. And like the internet, we just put it out there willy-nilly. So
Mm-hmm.
all these players are getting paid, more money than the coaches, and they've turned college into pro,
Yeah,
and
it pretty
that's
much
not
is. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. You're right
I
about
mean,
that.
it's just we we want things deregulated, but there's a reason why you have regulations.
Wow. Yeah. Rules, right? I mean,
Yeah, you got to have rules in a society to function,
yeah.
and we want to have more, fewer rules, fewer this, fewer government services, and all that. Yeah, maybe, but
Mm.
you know, you got to have somebody out there inspecting the people that are in business, the meat inspectors, and all those kind of
Yeah.
people.
Right. Right. That's
And the fact that they've gone through and politicized I think the worst thing that's happened for the right side people, the the right leaning people, is
Yeah.
the politicization of the healthcare industry. So
Yeah,
many
it's too bad.
people are getting, I mean, the Kennedy and others that are up there, I frankly don't have confidence in them.
Hmm.
And I think the CDC and the FDA, I don't know if they were bad or not. I don't know. But I just feel like it just doesn't feel right, some of this stuff. And particularly when I see people so angry, this whole vaccination thing that happened during COVID.
Hmm.
I don't know
Well,
who
it's I
you
mean it's a
know,
lot coming from you because you've been in this business for a long time, and I think that the whole summation of what you're saying right now is just the trust thing. It's like who do
yeah, the
we
media is included in that trust thing.
agree 100%.
So much fake news out there. We've
Yeah.
allowed, again, there are no rules for these people at Facebook
Hmm.
and YouTube and everything else. So, and with AI particularly, there's so much. Even AI is. I catch when I know something about something and I put it in there.
Yeah, it's
I
not
can. They
right.
make. They're not right.
No.
And Wikipedia is not the Encyclopedia Britannica, might I add.
Right.
So they try. They do try
You're
to be
right.
correct, but they're not. And they do have, and some of this AI stuff, as they're finding out, these bots,
Hmm.
whatever. I've never seen one that I can talk to and have a conversation with, but somewhere out
They're
there
out
there
there. Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And little kids are getting it, and that's the ones that they've told them to hate their mothers and, you know, don't listen to your parents. And I mean, what the hell, how's that happen?
I don't know, but I do know that the AI database is what we've given it, right? So
Right.
it's only that good. So if the guy that day didn't know anything about baseball and was feeding AI info about baseball, we're screwed. I mean
Yeah.
that's kind of how I look at it,
Well, anyway,
simplistically.
it's just we've got to we need things that we don't have. We better have a functioning military,
Hmm.
or all this stuff is moot.
Yeah.
And hopefully there are some people that are adults, and they made a big deal about this current administration's gotten rid of a lot of admirals and generals and all that's that Doge thing again.
Yeah.
Maybe we were a little heavy in the top brass, and maybe we do need to put more money into the worker bees, the enlisted people, and
Hmm.
making sure they have good food and making sure their places where they live are warm or cool or safe or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that big priority was done by the Obama administration or Biden for that.
Hmm.
But, that is one side that I think you have to give credit to the rights, the Republican side about taking care of the military. But this whole thing about medical that concerns me of what they've done with that, and the fact that they've not been able to answer what these poor people are going to do about health care. What are we going to do about that? And there's got to be an answer, because there just has to be at
Yeah,
this point.
we have to find one. But I
They
think you
got to
said
figure
it.
it out.
You said something earlier about people that shouldn't be here that are getting those benefits. There's a lot of money in that, and I think that if they just dig deep enough into that, and I know people don't like it, but it's just what it is. I mean, we really. You don't invite people over for a huge holiday dinner if you can't afford dinner for your own family, right? I mean, it's just kind of how
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I still think the jury's out. What in the hell were they doing? Letting, what was Biden and his people? What was their reasoning? I know people have come up with a lot of different things.
Yeah, sure, their
Why
theories.
did they open the border up just completely where nobody got checked?
I don't.
It was willy-nilly Chinese people walking in. I saw it on 60 Minutes. These Chinese young men walking in. You saw where they busted people in the desert.
Yeah,
They
fascinating.
were getting ready to do a terrorist act.
Yeah.
You know,
What did
we
they
got all
think though?
kinds of people in this country that ought to scare the bejesus out of people, that aren't supposed to be here. And have,
But
they're
how even can a government like ours come to that conclusion? How can a group of people sit there and go, "Yeah, that's a good idea. We're going to just leave all the doors unlocked and
because they don't do it anywhere else in the world.
right.
Anywhere else. We were the only people want to come to America,
Yeah, open
because
the
we're the
door.
land of opportunity. Yeah, we are, but we still have. hours of operations and locks on the doors,
Right. Exactly. Every
places. Because I
business,
mean,
every home, all of
oh
them.
Lord,
No,
it's
you're
just
right. You're right about that.
it's exhausting to deal with.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so while we wrap up, let's wrap it up. But before we go, something to think. One prediction, one thing positive that you think is going to happen in 2026. What's one
Yeah,
thing?
I think we're going to have a little bit of renewal, and I'm not sure how,
Okay.
of patriotism.
Okay, fair. We need it.
Because it's the 250th anniversary of the
That's right.
country.
Yeah, that's right.
That's going to be a big deal. I think the big celebrations this year are going to have some kind of positive feelings
Okay.
among the masses. The Winter Olympics, the
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that'll
the
be good.
that's coming up in February. That's always if America does good,
Yeah,
and we don't always do that great in the winters, so we'll
that's
see.
true. That's true.
Uh, but hopefully that will be something good, and
Okay.
hopefully the 250th anniversary of our country will make people, you know, feel good about it. Maybe we'll, become less political. God, I hope we do, because I'm really sick of the left wing Democrats and I'm really sick of the right wing Republicans.
Wow.
I want us to, every issue cannot be a Republican Democrat issue, and it seems to be. It
Yeah.
just seems to be. And I don't know. We've got to get our act together on so many things. And, Trump needs to have, I know he isn't going to be a, what you call it, lame duck
Yeah,
president.
right. Yeah, yeah.
And he is to some degree, but he's very powerful. But hopefully someone other than a swivel head will get near him and he used to have a pretty good fingerprint pulse on what he wouldn't have gotten elected twice if he didn't have a pretty good idea about what to tell people. But
Yeah,
he's on the
fair.
same song, 10th verse, every time I've heard him lately.
I think that's fair. I was thinking maybe AI will force us all to think, instead of being political all the time, to think more about the human race. Instead of,
Something like that. Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know. I don't know, but I
we
but
just, we've got people that want to kill us. And that's the one thing you got to
yeah,
remember
that's true.
above everything else, whether they're Hamas or whether they're somebody in Nigeria or ISIS
Mhm.
or Chinese or whoever they are. There's just a whole world out there that wants to take what we've got. They want to take our freedom. They want to take our resources. They want to take everything.
Mhm.
And we've got a blue thin line taking care of that in the military,
Gosh.
and hopefully our scientists, and hopefully we've got people that are not uh, politicized, at the end of the day, in our CIAs and all these places, and hopefully keeping us safe. And as we speak of this time, they have kept us safe.
So
And I
far,
hope
yeah.
they do, despite, I don't care whether it's Biden or Trump or whoever's the person up there. Hopefully there is some consistency, going on in the places where that needs to be going on. And we've just got to get a lot less crazy with the politics. The politics have got to calm down.
Well said, Jimmy. Well said, Jimmy. Hey, happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you in serious times, but uh, I'm I'm hopeful that your team is going to win in the football games. So
Yes. Yes,
I hope
indeed.
mine will. Okay, so
Until we do it all again next week, next year, 2026. Cheers to you. And I'm Derek Walker. He's
Jimmy Carter,
good day.
good day. Happy New Year.